It was the first day of a new semester at Ridgeway High, and Amara Johnson walked through the crowded hallways with quiet confidence. She was wearing her usual oversized hoodie, dark sunglasses, and holding her sleek white cane, tapping gently as she found her way to class. Though blind since birth, Amara had learned to navigate the world in her own rhythm, gracefully, fearlessly, and with an inner calm that few understood. But not everyone saw her strength. To some of the students at Ridgeway, Amara's blindness made her an easy target, especially for a group led by Madison, a loudmouth girl with too much confidence and too little kindness. Madison and her friends thought they were being funny whenever they teased Amara, whispering jokes about her sunglasses, her cane, or even pretending to guide her in the wrong direction. On that particular morning, things escalated. Amara was sitting quietly in the cafeteria, listening to the familiar buzz of chatter, laughter, and the distant sound of sneakers squeaking against tile. She could identify almost everyone by their voice or the way they walked. She knew Madison's group had entered even before they said a word. "Well, look who it is," Madison's mocking voice rang out. "How's the view today, Amara?" Her friends giggled. Amara didn't respond. She calmly lifted her drink and took a sip, pretending their words didn't sting. But Madison wasn't finished. She reached over and yanked Amara's cane from beside her chair. "Oops, did you drop this?" she sneered, waving it around. "Give it back," Amara said quietly, her voice even and controlled. Madison smirked. "Come on, you don't need this, right? I mean, you can sense where things are." Her laughter echoed through the cafeteria as she held the cane just out of reach. Students turned to watch. Some whispered, others looked away, uncomfortable but unwilling to intervene. Then something shifted. Amara stood up, slowly, gracefully. She tilted her head slightly, her blank eyes hidden behind dark lenses, but her expression unreadable. "I said," she repeated softly, "give it back." "Or what?" Madison said, chuckling. "You gonna hit me with your psychic powers?" The next moment happened so fast that no one could process it. Amara stepped forward, her movement smooth and precise. She pivoted on her heel, reached out, and in one fluid motion, snatched the cane right from Madison's hand. Before Madison could react, Amara turned her wrist, twisting gently but firmly, forcing Madison to yelp in pain and stumble backward. Gas filled the cafeteria. Amara's voice was calm but carried weight. "You should never take something that isn't yours." Madison's face turned red. Embarrassed and furious, she lunged at Amara. But before she could touch her, Amara ducked low, swept her leg, and Madison crashed to the floor with a loud thud. Her tray of food went flying, spilling across the tiles. The cafeteria fell silent. Even the teachers nearby were frozen in disbelief. Amara stood tall, holding her cane in one hand like a staff. She didn't look angry, just composed, like someone who had been ready for this moment all along. "You, you knew karate?" one of Madison's friends stammered. Amara turned her head toward the voice. "I've been training since I was 6. Being blind doesn't mean being helpless." Madison groaned from the floor, rubbing her wrist. You're crazy." Amara's expression softened. "No, I just don't let people like you decide what I'm capable of." The bell rang, and the moment broke. Students began murmuring, some cheering softly, others whispering in awe. As Amara walked away, the crowd parted, giving her space. Later that day, word spread like wildfire. "Did you hear? The blind girl took down Madison." The story twisted and grew, but everyone agreed on one thing. Amara Johnson wasn't someone to mess with. A few days later, Madison approached her after class. She wasn't laughing this time. "Hey," she said awkwardly, "can we talk?" Amara turned toward her voice. "I'm listening." Madison hesitated. "I wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't know. I thought—" "You thought blindness meant weakness," Amara finished for her. Madison sighed. "Yeah, I guess I did." Amara tilted her head slightly, her expression softening. "You don't need to be sorry because I surprised you. Be sorry because you treated someone like they were less. That's what really blinds people. Their own ignorance." Madison nodded slowly, shame washing over her face. "You're right," Amara smiled faintly. "I know. They stood there for a moment, and Madison realized something important. Amara didn't need sight to see people for who they truly were. Weeks later, during the school's talent showcase, Amara stepped onto the gym stage wearing her white karate uniform. The crowd erupted in applause as she demonstrated precise kata movements, breaking boards with her strikes, each motion controlled and flawless. When she finished, the audience rose to their feet in thunderous applause. Among them was Madison, clapping the loudest. That day, Amara didn't just prove her strength. She reminded everyone that courage isn't about what you can see, but what you believe in. And for the first time, people didn't see her as the blind girl. They saw her for what she truly was: powerful, fearless, and unstoppable. Final act: strength you can't see. The viral video of Maya defending herself against the bullies spread like wildfire. Within hours, it was everywhere: TikTok, YouTube, and news outlets across the country. Headlines read, "Blind teen uses karate to defend herself. Teaches bullies a lesson in respect." Maya's mother sat beside her on the couch that night, tears in her eyes as she watched the clip replay on TV. "You didn't just defend yourself, baby," she said softly. "You showed the world what real courage looks like." But for Maya, the fame wasn't the goal. It was the justice that mattered. The next morning, the principal called an emergency assembly. The entire school gathered in the gymnasium. Whispers filled the air as the bullies, Jason, Tyler, and Mia, stood on stage, heads bowed. Their parents sat in the front row, faces pale with embarrassment. Principal Edwards took the microphone. "Bullying, discrimination, and cruelty have no place in our school," he said firmly. Maya showed grace and discipline in the face of humiliation. Today, she stands not as a victim, but as an example of true strength. Then something no one expected happened. Jason stepped forward. His voice trembled as he spoke. "Maya, I'm sorry. We thought we were being funny, but we were just cruel. You didn't deserve that. You're incredible." The crowd went silent. Maya stood slowly, white cane in hand. She didn't need to see the faces staring at her. She could feel the energy shift in the room. When she spoke, her voice was calm, steady, and full of quiet power. "Apologies don't erase pain," she said, "but learning from it does. If you really mean it, then prove it by never treating anyone like they're less than human again." A pause, then applause filled the gym. It started with one person, then another, until the entire school was on their feet. Aftermath: over the next few weeks, things changed. The school introduced new programs for inclusion and sensitivity training. Maya was invited to speak at assemblies across the city about self-defense, confidence, and resilience. Local TV stations interviewed her, and the dojo where she trained offered free self-defense classes for visually impaired students in her honor. But Maya stayed humble through it all. Fame didn't matter. What mattered was the message. One afternoon, her sensei, Master Chen, approached her after class. "You've mastered every kata, every strike," he said, "but do you know the greatest lesson of karate?" Maya tilted her head. "What's that?" He smiled gently. "It's not about fighting. It's about balance, knowing when to stand your ground and when to forgive." Maya nodded slowly. For the first time, she truly understood. 1 year later, graduation day arrived. The sun bathed the field in warm gold as students tossed their caps into the air. Maya stood at the podium, giving her valedictorian speech, her voice echoing through the crowd. "I may not see the world the way you do," she said, "but I feel it. And I've learned that strength isn't in what your eyes can see. It's in what your heart refuses to give up on. If you ever feel small, remember, no one can take away your power unless you hand it to them." Tears shimmered in the eyes of students, teachers, and even parents who once overlooked her. As the ceremony ended, Maya turned toward the sound of applause, smiling. Somewhere deep inside, she knew. She hadn't just survived her story. She'd rewritten it. And that's how the blind black girl who was once mocked by bullies became a symbol of courage, discipline, and unbreakable spirit. Proof that true vision doesn't come from the eyes, but from the soul.